Ciao. How to make the pizza in Teglia if you don't have any equipment, if you don't have the machine, if you don't have time, if you bother, if you got kids, if, oh, now this pizza, how am I gonna make it? Oh, it takes space, takes everything. Not a problem. It's important to know a few things. So, we can start with this with the Autolyse method and the no knead technique. Autolyse method, what is? We just let the flour soak into the water for a certain amount of time. They're going between 15 minutes to an hour. So letting the flour to absorb it, all the water, and releases enzymes, so it becomes easier to work while we're going along. Anyway, talking about that is more difficult than showing you. So we have here our ingredient. First of all, the water, 300 grams, 400 grams of flour, 10 grams of salt, 10 grams of sunflower oil. Here it is my mother yeast, or sourdough starter. I prefer to use this one, but if you don't want to use this one, you can do with the fresh yeast. It's better. I prefer this one because it's got more flavor. When you take out of the fridge, because I kept this in the fridge, when you take it out, you'll see it's a bit creamy. It needs a little bit of stir. And now you just put on the side. This is nice and creamy. You just put on the side there to come on room temperature. In a bit, it's gonna be, in an hour from now, it's gonna be on a nice, fluffy, bubbly, and then it will tell you. You will see it's ready to be used. Okay. Then we have our semolina flour, where later we're gonna work the dough. But let's get it started. First of all, we take the bowl, put on the scale. We're gonna measure 200 grams of water. Something like that. We can pan down, then we put inside our flour. There it is. Now we can, for not to get our hands dirty, because sometimes you don't want to mix because you get dirty, wash the hands and everything. You can do with the hands, but if you don't want to get that dirty, the only things you can use or a spatula like this, or like I taught to my mom, she can use something like this. One or the other, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is mix it through. No kneading is required. Just let you combine the ingredient, the flour, with the water, and this pre-soaking is gonna help our dough to become more flavored. As you see, pre-soaking your ingredient makes the bread easier to mix, and you need the dough less too as well, because all you do is to add water to your ingredient and let it rest for a minimum of 15 minutes to half an hour, 1 hour. I did until 3 hours, 8 hours, depends on the time. Doesn't really matter. All you need to do is a rough mixing like that. Like this. The mixture rests, the water is absorbed by the flour, the enzymes in the flour are activated, and the gluten is developed. Starch is broken down into simple sugars, and when we will add the yeast will start to feed on. As you see, it looks pretty dry. This is a very strong flour. No, just like that. We put on the side. Alright, there it is, you see. Now we just let. Now you can knead, you can help it if you want. That's really neat. Just we leave it like that. The yeast waits like that. And see you in an hour. So as you see, it looks a little bit rough, but slowly it's absorbing. See? It's just exchanging the enzyme of the flour. They're getting together with the water, and like, this is amazing. It's autolyzing. It's becoming softer, smoother, easier to move. Okay. So all we need to do, just leave it there. Cover with the tea towel. And while we're waiting for the yeast, as you see, starts to be bubbly. It was down there, now it's up. So we'll take a kind of half an hour more. Then we can add the yeast and the rest of the water and carry on kneading. It is going to be super soft, easy. Easy peasy. Ciao. Hello, so after 1 hour, here we are. The dough is absorbed a little bit, you see, it's moist, nice, you can turn. Alright, you see, it's sticky. It's got elasticity, just doing it on its own. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing, there it is. So we're ready now to add our water, and above all, what is ready is this. If you come close, you see, it's bubbling, it's alive. This sourdough yeast, the mother yeast, they like the temperature between 24-26 degrees. Now, if you wanna do the pizza for today and the same day, I would suggest you can use water, probably in the water, use a temperature around 26 degrees to 28. But because I wanna do it for tomorrow, it's best always to let it mature, let it get the dough more mature. It will develop more flavor, so that's why I prefer to do the 24-hour one. So what I'm gonna do now, just put the ball on the scale there. I'll pour over 120 of my nice foamy yeast. There it is. Okay. Still left some more. In the beginning there were 150 grams in here. Now from this little bit I can add some little water, little flour. I can keep feeding, and I will have this forever. I can make it bigger as much as I want. Anyway, let's go back on the dough. There. Now we can add the rest of our water. Almost 100 grams. And then we can go back on the folding, just like that. There it is. No special skills are required, just let it soak into it. If you want, you put your hands, you can squeeze, stir. So now just the autolyzing of the flour into the water is going to do the rest. Resting, absorbing, drinking it all. You just need to help a little bit. See, you fold from outside in. If we got things to do, whatever we got to do. This we can leave on the side for another hour. See you in a bit. We cover and we put it there. Let's go on our starter yeast. We can start like this. Let's say it should be left 30 grams. So we're gonna add 30 grams of water. Okay, and we're gonna put 30 grams of flour. Get it with a spoon, stir it in. Make a good stirring into it. There it is, nice and creamy. Cover it. We'll put the lid over here, but we're not gonna tighten up, just leave it loose, just like that, because this needs to breathe. Okay, and we can put straight away into the fridge. So until next time when we'll need, you can stay like this until 4 or 5 days, a week. It's important that once a week you're gonna feed it. Again, putting the same amount of water and flour. Whenever you need to use, like we started, you take out of the fridge, you leave it on the side, it will come back bubbly again. So without too tighten, this goes in the fridge. Easy. Okay, after 1 hour, there it is. Let's see consistency. There it is. It's been absorbing a little bit more. There's the creaminess. Now probably we can get a little bit our hands dirty. There. It starts to get the strands. As you see, we're not kneading, we're folding in. As we create strands. Folding, folding. There it is. Either like this, just this. Okay. Once we reach this consistency now, we leave it to rest again for an half an hour. Now we start to shorten the time. And then we're gonna add the salt. We're gonna leave it another half an hour, and then we're gonna add the oil, and we leave it another half an hour. There it is. Dough is doing by itself. No kneading is required. No special skills. Nice and easy. Okay, another half an hour is gone. Now, going on with this process, you will start to like this. This is amazing. Something you wanna carry on doing. You love it. Look, you can feel it. The strand. There it is. From the back in, from the back in, from the back in. We didn't put the salt yet. You can wait. Salt and oil is something you can go right at the end, because basically now we're just building up the strength, the gluten. We're trapping the gas that our yeast is developing. Just trapping down there. This is gonna be softer, wobbly, and it's gonna autolyse even more. So I'm gonna pass again, and we put the salt like the next one. See you in half an hour. Okay, here we again. Now is the time to put the salt. Now, from now on, I don't know you, but I start to feel this excitement to come and check how does it become every time after and after, and I start to love it. There it is. Now we start to fold by hands. If you want to get this stickiness, you can wet your hands under the water. Yes, and there it is. Now we fold it. We fold it. Look at that. Starts to get the strength. See? There. There it is. Folding. Amazing flour. Look. Look, starts to be very, very strong now. Okay, after you fold a little bit like that, leave it there, and see you in half an hour. There it is with another folding. See, it starts to change. Hands, strands, absorption. I made this so many times, but I never get tired. I love it. Every time is a new times. Every time is different. I'm excited. I can't wait to come and see. You will see. You will want to come back and see what the dough is doing. And every time when you can make this little changing, you see that. You see that. You're gonna be so happy. Now this is probably we're gonna do another fold with the oil later, and maybe the dough is ready to go and do the big long proving, or in the fridge, or if you want to do on the day, you do on the day. But it's a good way how to spend your time. You see, it doesn't stick anymore. If someone has seen the video that I did with the kenwood, at some point you reach this level. There it is. Doesn't stick anymore, and we didn't put the oil yet. So there it is. This is sorted. Another half an hour. See you in a bit. Okay, it's the time to put the oil now. There it is. We open the oil. I measured 10 ml. Just put it in, all of it. Okay, now we do the last folding. There. In all this time, I've been doing other things. I've been working, I've been cooking, I've been eating, been playing with Luna, been playing with Luigi. In any break, I had a nap. I went to get the salad for the restaurant. So you can do this around your daily things, but well, if you're at home and you're bored, this will keep you busy, will keep you interested. Look, it's becoming already nice. Now after this we're gonna do just another folding in half an hour. That will be the last, then we put away. As you see, start to get a nice strand. Nice, there it is. Okay, see you in half an hour. Okay, this is the last to go. Last valzer, there it is. Grab from the edge, pull it like that, in, edge, in, edge, in. See, we just incorporating last air, and as you can see, it's nice and strong. Now at this stage, I know you can resist it and you want to have it in a few hours. You can do it. You can just leave it to prove now for the next 3 to 4 hours, 6 hours, and have it later. But as I say, just leave it until tomorrow. You can leave in the same bowl. You can leave it like this. Doesn't matter that you can unstick. Not gonna stick on it. We put the cling film still tied like this. Go around. Give it 24 hours. 18, 20 hours. So now I'm going to work. So I'll put this in the fridge and I will start to work it again. Take it out tomorrow morning when it's around 10, 11. And the way it's gonna be ready for lunch, afternoon. Leaving 24-hour proving is gonna be lighter. It's gonna be lighter, easier to digest. All the sugar in it, they're gonna be changed. It's gonna be more mature, so it's gonna develop more enzyme, more flavor. It's gonna be more complex, very light, crisps. This is gonna be an amazing pizza. So now we go inside the fridge and I will see you tomorrow with this one. Okay, hi. So here we are. Today is Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. At 3:30 I just put my dough into the fridge. Okay, now it's 12 o'clock and I wanna have this pizza for about around 4. We have a temperature around 20-21 degrees, so it's gonna take around 3-4 hours for the process I'm gonna do from now on. So it's gonna be, after you take out the fridge, you can out of the fridge, you can see it's a little bit proved. You see it's got some nice bubbling inside. You can see the paper is trying to push with the pressure. In half an hour, 1 hour from now, this pressure is gonna be even higher. So then it will be ready to come out of the bowl and we do the next stage. But let's go a bit backwards. Let's see why did we do this. Okay, doing the slow proving in the fridge, what do? We just slow down the process of the yeast. So slowing down the yeast effect, we give more time to the flour, so to the Autolyse, the flour with the water, to mature, to get more mature, to do the microbiological process that the flour with this enzyme needs to do in contact with the water. So that's why, let's go going backwards. What did we do here? Let's give a bit more information. We started to mix the water and the flour. So when we do that, we start to autolyze. We start to, let's say, the flour being a dry ingredient starts to soak, starts to drink, starts to have this drinking of water, this rehydrating itself. In the same time, it develops enzyme. It releases the enzyme with the water. So it breaks down the starch. So the amino acid, breaking down the starch, it makes it become the sugar contained in it easier, more simple, and easier to be absorbed by the yeast later itself. It relaxes a little bit more, it starts to build the chain. Imagine the gluten, imagine it's like a chain, starts to grab like this, and with the process we do after, with the folding, we give it a bit of strength on this chain, and we superpose one with the other, and then it becomes more chain on top of chain of gluten, links, what they are. And when it comes in contact with the yeast, so the yeast produces this gas, with the chain of gluten, we can trap into it. So with the autolyzing, what do? We do the absorption, we make it easy, the dough. Why? Because the flour is absorbing by itself the water. Absorbing is relaxing is breaking down the starch, is making the sugar contained into the flour easier to be eaten by the yeast. Okay. When we started, I did put just the 50% of water compared to the amount of the flour. Why do I do so? Any flour is different. Some flour could absorb until 67%, 70%. This one we made absorb until 75% because it's a high quality. So it's got a good amount of protein, it's around 13.5. This high amount of protein gives us a strength that in Italy we call with a W value, it's called with the W, fattore W. It's a quality, it indicates the quality of the flour. Okay, this is around 300. So it means, I know it would absorb not 300 of water, it would absorb that amount of water, so until 75. Probably it would absorb even more, but I left it until 75. If you're using another flour, possibly you will not, you need to go for a trial. I make the fun example is if you have a bunch of people to a party and you provide a certain amount of wine, that is enough for all the people, but you put a little bit more, all the people they might drink the more amount of wine, but if you put too much, you will see all of them sleeping on the grass outside. So this is what's happened with the flour. If you give it too much, it might collapse. It might not happen anymore. So whenever you do, if you start with a different flour that is not this amazing one, I really love this one, you go for a try. You start with 50%, you check on the dough how much absorbs it, and then slowly you can add the rest of the water. I knew about that, so with this technique of autolyzing, you can't get wrong. So we've been adding all the water. Again, we'll let the autolyzing happen. So again, the flour is gonna absorb all the water that is around, it's gonna be relaxing, it's gonna create the chain, it's gonna break down the starch. When all this was happening, what we did, we did add our yeast. So all the party started. When we put the yeast inside the dough, it's like everyone is happy. So we did put a bit of music on this party. Okay, there was the wine, now there is the music. So now everything is going on. Stop. So once the yeast is in, we fold it in. The yeast start to create this gas, this alcohol. This gas. The fermentation starts. Now the fermentation is in everywhere we do. If you say we have fermentation into the grape, fermentation into the apples, fermentation when we make a beer, they are similar. These are like fungus bacteria. Okay, they're called Saccharomyces. And when we do this fermentation into a liquid, the liquid makes them escape. When we do into a dough, thanks to the gluten, so to the links, glutenic links, we can trap them. Trapping them is where the bubble, they happen. There they are. Once we build up our gluten, so maglie glutiniche in Italiano, the gas cannot go away. So it gets trapped. That's why of the folding we did after. Folding like that, getting out, folding like that, we created a chain. We make the strand of chain on strand of chain, one on top of the other, and we fold it in. Folding it in, we trap this gas. And why we put the salt after? You can't stop fermentation. You can kill it cooking it, okay? You can stop it if you put some, I don't know, washing liquid. You're not gonna do that. We can slow down. How do we slow down? We slow down with salt. In some recipes, for example, the people that do pizza in the south of Italy, because it's too hot, to slow down the proving, they put salt straight away into the water, or they use cold water. So with the cold and the salt, we slow down the process of fermentation. Why this happen? The cold, because of the fungus and Saccharomyces working as a bacteria, like a bacteria. The bacteria, they live better between 4 degrees and 62. But under 4 degrees, they don't like it too much, so slow down the process. The salt, when the yeast goes in contact with the salt, it just restricts its action. So it's like, imagine the yeast is like a little balloon. When you put the salt on it, pump, it's like the balloon just explodes. So it needs to start again. So that's the way. So in our case, we want to help I've been using a natural yeast, but if you use a fresh yeast, it's the same thing. If you want this process to start, to be quicker, to be nicer, to be smoother, you put the salt once the process is on the run. So that's why we did add the salt after a few rounds of folding. Okay. Same things for the oil. If you use the oil earlier in the recipe, the oil goes in between the strand, so it doesn't let the link happen so nicely, so smoothly, because it lets them slip one with another. So our dough is going to be grainy. That's why we put right at the end, once the gluten is formed, we trap the gas. Once we trap the gas, and then we put some strand of oil between the strands of gluten. Anyway, I don't want to be too heavy. After we done all the recipe, we did another. I want to just explain probably the importance of the folding. So that's why we do a couple of folding after the oil. We just did another extra one, so we don't let that oil go too much around in the middle of our dough, or we risk that it might fall apart, and we don't want that. So putting in the fridge, we slow down the process of changing, so getting more mature. The sugar are lighter. Now it's going to be more digestible, because we know when something is lighter in sugar, it's easier to digest. Okay. here we done 24 hours. We could even go longer. Some flour they can resist longer. This flour might do it. We can fold again and probably use tomorrow, or we can stay 24 hours. It will still autolyze. It will prove again. So after all the processes are done, you see, we did put in the fridge. The process of proving was already on it, so the yeast was affecting. We just slow down this peak of changing while we are in the time of speaking of peak of maturation. So if we let the yeast give an effect too quickly, the flour will not have the enough time to process all the enzymatic exchange, all the microbiological process that they need to happen when the flour is in a contact with the water. So this autolyzing is still autolyzing. Probably is the right word. Autolyzing is the mother of everything. So whatever you do with flour, whenever you do a recipe working flour with a liquid, with an egg, with something, there is this resting time. You let it rest always at dough. Put on the side half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is on the recipe, to let the flour to relax. So in the relaxation of the flour is absorbing, is creating this link with the other ingredient. It's all based on an autolyzing process. Okay, so we've been in the fridge 20 hours, at least do 18. I believe doing 18, 20, 24 hours change much. It's important things. When you know you need to make this one, if you are in the south of Italy, if you are in a very warm environment where we have 26, 28 degrees, 24, so it's nice and hot. Imagine an Italian summer. This process is so short. Luna just woke up. Great. Probably in half an hour or 2 hours we're gonna bake from now. But being in a colder temperature here, I will give 1 hour like this, and next stage you're gonna see. Okay, I hope I haven't been too heavy or complicated or confusing. Just wanted to give a few information, but anyway, in the future video, some other things I will still talk about, or method, process, autolyzing, or fermentation and things like that. Let's go back on our dough. So it's been resting for 1 hour. Yes, can you see the bubble there? Nice and close. It's nice and wobbly. Okay, the paper is blowed a little bit more. Okay, now we get rid of the paper. Okay, just be careful when you open the paper. Don't let little bits of this cream film fall into the dough. Okay, you can do like that. You can do with a scissor. You can do with a knife. All around the bowl, nice and clean. Be careful on these little bits. You see that? Okay, there it is. And now what? Dough is free. It smells very nice. Bello. Okay, see the little bowl there? Just gonna leave that. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we take our semolina flour, so it's semola rimacinata, and this one we're gonna use just on the outside. It doesn't have to go inside, just outside. Okay, this is a dough on earlier on I was speaking about number. It's on a 75% of hydration. So considering it's a very good hydration point for a flour. With the normal flour, possibly you wouldn't be able to reach this sort of hydration. You just flip it over. There it is, and the dough is just gonna fall it down. We didn't put any oil, we didn't put nothing, just itself. Don't push it, don't squeeze it, don't, just let it go. Enjoy this. If you're using a glass one like I'm doing, you can enjoy this, looking at the ball going away. So nice. See, now it's just there. There it is. Okay, what we're gonna do now is just look how it is. Full folding. Okay, very quick we do. Pull it from here. There it is. In. Pull it from here. It's very, be gentle, it's very soft. In. Get this one on this side. There, okay. In. And the last one. If it's sticking, because we missed the flour, you can just go with the flour there. There. Okay. With your spatula. If you have another spatula, you can use another spatula. If you don't have this, if you don't have this one, you can use anything. This one. It doesn't matter, you can use whatever you got available. Okay. There. Okay. Just grab it like that. In. And there it is. Flip it over. We can break this little bubble over there. There it is. Break it, break it, break it if you want. You can leave it, you can break it. Okay. And we just put see, it's almost ready. It's very nice, super soft already. Okay. It's a good sign because it means you can touch it, you can flip it, you can turn it. Okay. Okay, we just leave it there. Another half an hour to rest, and then we'll be ready to be worked again. Cover it like this, just in case you have a pet in your house, like we have Nemo, or there are flies, or the windows open, whatever. There it is. Cover. See you in a bit. Okay. Here it is after half an hour, 45 minutes. It's been 45 minutes for me. Okay, so you can tell it's softer. Okay, what we're gonna do now is adding the rest of the semolina flour. Okay, like that. We turn around. Our tray is here. Okay, we're gonna stuff the paper with a little bit of butter, like that, so the paper doesn't run around. You can use anything really, as long as you stop the paper. Okay, like this. And now we go on the dough. We start with the finger outside, not too close. We need to use this part of our finger like that. Okay, just like this. We push the air around. Okay, pulling. If it stucks a little bit, we just need to let the flour go through. Okay, just like that.
You're ready for more.
Possibly we need a little bit more flour. Okay. Just be generous with the flour. It's in there. Turn around. A little bit more flour. Can you see good?
Yeah.
See the bubble? Even if we broke it, they create more. You can't stop that. Like that. Just up, pushing, pushing, pushing. I'm never touching the edge. You see? I'm never touching them. I'm always here. Outside, inside. You just turn it once. Now, this is the moment to go into that. And how do we do this? bend it a little bit. Okay, both of them. This edge goes on my arm like this. Okay. You get it down there. Let the excessive powder go away. Like this. Now we don't squeeze into the tray. Don't squeeze it. Just bring it where you need. It's nice and soft. Now I like to bring it to the edge. I mean, waiting 45 until it is the softest. So I like it very soft. Maybe if you're a beginner, wait half an hour when it's a bit stiffer as a dough. Okay. So it will be easier for you to work it, to do all this I did right now. Okay. If you want, you can push a little bit the edge, just like that. Only on the edges. Okay. But very gentle. You don't need to push at all. See, I'm just taking it on the edge, you see? Just like that. It doesn't matter if it sticks there, because this paper is gonna make it unstick anyway. We call it silicone paper. Works a little bit like the seal pot. Okay, you can do with the finger on the edge like this, just to give it a chance, like this. And yeah, no, it's alright. Look, it's nice bubbling. What we're gonna do now? The oven is on. Okay. We're gonna let it rest as it is for half an hour. Again, I promise it's the last one. Then we can start to bake. So half an hour is gonna bake like this. Look at the oven. The program is to be static at the bottom and at the top with ventilation. If you have a gas, I suggest put at the maximum with the gas and put probably the tray on the bottom. But I'm using an electric static, okay? So I'm using the heating from the bottom, from the top, there, with the ventilation at the maximum. There it is. You can tell, maximum, okay? When this light is off, wait for 5 minutes at least, okay? 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure the oven is very, very hot already, and then we will be ready. We season it with the tomato we got already in the fridge ready, and we're gonna place at the bottom, at the first level. What we need to create is a crust underneath here, a nice crust. The top of it is gonna be a golden brown, but we will see this in the next stage. Okay, see in a bit. Okay, here we are. We're at the stage to put the tomatoes. So we got our tomatoes. Tomato is already flavored with some. What's the flavor I like? There's basil. There's peeled plum tomatoes, basil, salt, pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and oregano and garlic. I'm from the south, we like oregano and garlic. So you can use a spoon, start it like that. Alright. Doesn't need too much tomato pizza, otherwise it's gonna be wet. Never touch the edges, because anyway it's gonna go over there. Paste on the edges like that. So we did all this job. Actually today was pretty hot in the house. We had around 24 degrees. So I managed to do this from 12 is when we started out of the fridge. Now it's 2:30 and we are ready to bake it. So it didn't take so long. But if it's in a colder day, probably the process is gonna be a bit longer. Remember, plan this in advance. As you see, tomato doesn't have to be much because we need just to flavor our bread. I never go more than the edge, more than that. You see bubble, they're coming out more and more and more. This is gonna be amazing. Very crispy, super soft. I call it the cloudy pizza. It's like a cloud, and you will see it once you eat it. So we're gonna bake this one now in the oven for 6 minutes. Put to the bottom, and then we're gonna finish. Take it out. We'll put the mozzarella, and we'll do another 6 minutes. And then finally, I know you already said it. I can have a glass. Okay, let's get in. Yeah, open. There. There. First level, the bottom, have a look. First level, okay. Just this little space. Turn it off. Via. Alexa, Set 6 minutes timer.
6 minutes, starting now.
Ok, ciao. Six minutes are gone now. Here it is, we dig it out very quick. Put it there. Close the oven. Get the mozzarella. Start again from the edges. It's so nice to do things in the house with kids. This is the family. It's a family-run business all round. You have the cat, Luna crying, Luigi wants a video game. Everyone has got all these things. Now, okay, so make sure the flour goes from the edge like so. Here it is, we cover everything. It doesn't matter that if it comes out, you can leave it, you can take it. Not really important. And back in the oven for another 6 minutes. Okay, Alexa, set 6 minutes timer.
Second timer, 6 minutes,
Yeah,
starting
we
now.
did it. See you in 6 minutes. And finally, after this, I know most of you they spotted it's brewing. It's more than 6 hours maybe. When you have a good wine, make it breathe for like 6 hours after opening, and maybe we can go and test it. This is my favorite one, Grego Nero. It's from Calabria. I'm from Calabria, so we look alike.
Are you ready for pizza? Are you ready for pizza? Pizza, 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 pizza. It's gonna be hot in a minute.
Yeah, and it's almost ready for...
Okay, it's time. Here we go. 6 minutes one side with the tomato. Then we took out. We did 6 minutes with the mozzarella. At the middle way, I just turn the tray around on the way it does. A few corners. Have a look on your oven. Here you can realize how your oven works stronger. So mine was, when I put it in, was like that. So it works harder here. So here it was whiter. So then halfway through, I just turn it like this into the oven. So we get a more thoroughly same color. What we need to watch is down here. Look at that. See? Oh yeah. Oof. Down there is the right color. Now, don't make it burn too much. Nice crust. Just pass it on. So very good. And the nice rack. Why on the rack? Because the rack is gonna let the steam accumulated from the pizza go down here first. You see? It's gonna let the steam go away. So, and it's gonna keep a nice crispiness on the bottom. Okay, just leave it there for 5 minutes while you get ready, while you taste the wine. There it is. While you get your baby like Luna. There she is. Luna. Luna. Luigi has been playing video game
Well, not
while
for
we were
too
recording.
long.
Cassie the Spielberg. Okay, there she is. And finally, it's Sunday lunchtime. And Papa, what can you do?
Sit down and relax in the
Bravo.
pizza.
Now taste the wine. Alla salute a tutti. Cheers. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you're gonna manage to do the same. I don't know. Give me some feedback. They're very welcome. And see you on the next video. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe and like the pizza. Enjoy that. Okay. PS. Postscriptum, like in the letter. What do we do? The wine is poured. It's very nice. I couldn't wait. 6 hours is waiting. Can stay even longer. It's a wonderful wine. But let's go back on our pizza. It's drying. A little bit at the bottom. Look. This is important. When you pull it, it doesn't have to bend. It needs to be a nice stiffness. You see? You see? You can even hear a little bit of the crick crick. So steaming like this will allow it to keep this nice clear color. There it is. And it's gonna be very nice and crisp. If you put straight away on a surface like that, if I would have done on a chopping board, what would happen? The steaming wouldn't like on the bread. The steaming wouldn't go away, but it would stick into it and would wet the dough. That's why, even while you're eating it, now I'm gonna start to cut it. Okay, I will cut. Thank you, Luna. Thank you. And I will start to cut it, and I will leave the other half over here on the rack. Okay, so we'll still keep crisp. I hope to enlighten you a little bit about how to make the pizza home. But now it's Sunday, and it's really time to turn these things off. I'll see you in the next video, or at the restaurant. Thank you. Ciao. No. Right, that's why she couldn't wait.
Enjoy the pizza from the master chef Francesco Alfano.
He wasn't paid to make that comment.
Well, I'm trying to say it.
He just wants another pizza.
Well, not really, because there's about like 8 pieces altogether.